Hey guys, Chris Larsson, Oswego Real Estate Group. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm on a little walk down here in the First Edition neighborhood. Fantastic little neighborhood. It's a little bit of a mix of old and new now, as it's been one of the premium neighborhoods within walking distance of the village in downtown Lake Oswego, and the shops and restaurants and all the good stuff you got to get into living in this neighborhood. And you'll see behind me there, you've got obviously some very, very old properties that were built 50, 100 years ago, and then you've got some new stuff that was built recently. So very cool neighborhood. I'm going to talk today about the 5 pros of living in Lake Oswego. I did a cons list as well. You can see that video here, but pros definitely, in my opinion, and obviously the opinion of everybody else who lives here, for sure outweigh the cons. So number one, and we are known for and everybody talks about, is our schools. Our schools are fantastic. We literally have the best public schools in the state, and you can go to multiple different resource websites to see that, to see our scores, to see our graduation rates, to see our parent involvement, our athletic, both of our sports teams here across the board. Lake Oswego and Lake Ridge have spectacularly successful athletics, and our schools are second to none. I went there. I'm a product of Lake Ridge, graduated in 1990. Both my kids are at Lake Ridge now and went through the schools that I went through, which is kind of cool to see that happen, to have your kids go through the same schools as you did. I'm obviously much older now, so they're not getting any of my old teachers, but it's super neat to see your kids follow in your footsteps. But the schools here are by far number one. People move from all over Portland to get their kids into these schools. So 2 high schools, Lake Oswego, which is on the north side of the lake, Lake Ridge, which is on the south side of the lake, both around 1,100, 1,200 kids. Really, really great. If you haven't researched them, I highly recommend you check them out. So schools is for sure number one. Number 2 is going to be safety. Lake Oswego overall is an incredibly safe community. We have a police force and a police presence here that's second to none. The people that live in this community care about this community, so they're paying attention to what's going on in and around them. We're removed from Portland. We're about 15-20 minutes south of Portland, and Portland obviously has been in the news a lot lately and has a lot of issues, a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, a lot of homelessness. But knock on wood, thank goodness we've been able to weather the storm and keep that element at bay. And I'm not saying there's absolutely nothing that happens here. There is some property theft, and there is teenagers running around doing stupid things, but overall very, very, very safe community to live in. And a lot of people choose to move here mainly as a result of the lack of crime or the safety. And during COVID, and with all the nuttiness going on in Multnomah County, we had a very big influx of people from Multnomah County. We had a lot of the folks that said, I will never live in the suburbs, and I need to walk to everything, and I'll never live in Lake Oswego. A lot of them moved to Lake Oswego in the last 2 or 3 years. So crime it being little to none, and safety is a huge issue. That was number 2. Number three is community. So we have absolutely fantastic community. The residents here are very involved. If you've ever been to Lake Oswego around the 4th of July and see the parade that we throw, and here around the holidays with the Christmas tree lighting, and the engagement of the community in and around these neighborhoods is literally second to none. We're a small enough town that we have that small town feel, but also have the not a large town feel, but basically the anonymity of being in a little bit bigger town. So it's a nice feel. It's a nice blend. It's a great middle spot to be in, is to be between the kind of the big and the small. But if you did want to get a little big city feel, or you wanted to go downtown to get dinner, or you wanted to go to Northwest to shop, Northwest Portland, it's obviously very, very doable. Next, I would say 4 would be our parks. We have absolutely spectacular parks here. We put a ton of money towards them every single year. We have some of the best parks in Oregon, and the city has great resources and budgets developed or devoted to the parks. So you can go everywhere from the Larsson Community Gardens, where you can plant a garden, all the way to Tryon Creek Park, which is right behind me here, which is a state park, and there's miles and miles and miles of trails and creeks, and it's just we do a fantastic job with our parks, and they are a big important component to living at Lake Oswego. And then fifth, I think I would have to say advantage or pro would be Oswego Lake, and being able to spend time paddleboarding, kayaking, canoeing, swimming, boating. It's a spectacular place. There's only about 750 homes that sit on the water, so it is small. It's more like a very big pond, and it is private, which has become a point of contention for people that don't have access to the water. But I will say this, you know, there's enough going on and there's enough people out there, and if you can move to the community and make friends, then always want to get that 4th of July invite to all the different parties that go on. We have a private fireworks show that the Lake Court puts on for all of the homeowners, and it's pretty neat. If you haven't ever seen it, it's very cool. But Oswego Lake, and there is public access. It's just through the 2 different swim parks, and then there's various easements that are deeded with certain neighborhoods in and around Lake Oswego that allows people to access the lake through private easements. And so that's another big question, and I do have a video on private easements. You can see it here and learn a little bit more about what those are, how many they are, how to find out if a property you're looking at has potential lake easement rights. Check it out. It's a good video. We get asked the question all the time about, hey, what does it mean if I buy this house with this lake easement? What does that get me? What do I have to do? How much does that cost? So it's a great resource. Check out the video. Let me know what you think. Also, if you like what you're seeing and you've stumbled upon our channel and you're considering, you know, a move to Lake Oswego now or down the road, I primarily focus on Lake Oswego. My running nickname in the community is Mr. Lake Oswego, which is kind of funny, but it's catchy. And been selling real estate here for a little over 16, almost 17 years now. And born and raised here, grew up here, went to the schools here. My kids go to the schools here. I've got a very good handle on neighborhoods. I've got a great handle on valuation. I've got fantastic relationships in the real estate community, and would love to go to work for you if you so choose. I don't have a big team, it's just me. If you decide to engage my services, then it's basically me. You don't get anyone else, not a team. I don't pawn you off to a buyer's agent. You get Chris Larsson. So all my negotiation skills, my knowledge, my expertise. So if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow, and I want to continue to bring content that's relevant to people that are folks that are thinking about moving here. So thanks again for checking me out, listening to what I have to say today about the pros of being in LO. And yeah, everybody have a great day. Stay safe.